Good evening and hello YouTubers, how are you going? This is Wayne from RC Adventurer. I have been into RC all my life, various bits of racing, and for a couple of years I've been into crawling, and just recently I've managed to get myself one of these great little 1/24th scale FTX Ouback crawlers. Pretty well made. Nice Land Rover Defender body on this one, which is good for me because I'm a Land Rover fan. Love the detail of it. You've got a little winch and you've got lights and nice squishy tyres, bit of a roll cage, spare wheel and stuff going on there. So for any of those that haven't seen this is the Mark II version. Brilliant out the box, but a couple of things I will note is that there's no grease in any of it, so if you're looking for reliability, then get your axles stripped and get some grease in there. And also I found that all the screws were done up pretty tight, which meant that any play in the axle was taken out and it would be quite stiff and sticky, so you didn't get your flex, as we call it in the game. So why am I here today? Well, since doing quite a bit of crawling, and if you are into crawling as well, you'll know that one of the best advantages is to get some weight in the right places, and the best weight to have is what they call unsprung weight, which is, if you imagine your car, I'll take the shell off, you've got your chassis, which is a rail chassis on here, and you've got your axles, and then the connection between your chassis and axles with your links is your springs on your shock absorbers. So best thing to do is get the weight as low down as you can for your centre of gravity, and the best place for that is in the wheels. Now on a bigger crawler it's quite easy, you pop your tyres off and then you can put in some wheel weights from a car, weight your vehicle, and then that gives you better stability. But on these small vehicles obviously you're very restricted by room, and you know what do you use at the end of the day? So me being me, I have decided to create myself some weighted bead locks. I've used the existing wheels, as you can see here. These are the ones that come with the model, but when I open the wheels up, they're actually made in three parts. So you've got the outer part, which is the bit that you can see here, and then you've got very similar on the back, but between that you've got one of these plastic discs, and what that does is it pinches the tyre between the two halves and between this, and that's what creates your bead lock. So as you will see, this weighs absolutely nothing at all. 1 gram, there we go. Obviously dependent on what unit of measure you use, but I'm sure most people will know that 1 gram is next to nothing. So what I decided to do was to make some of these up out of brass. I've used almost the same dimensions, but I've changed a couple of little things for good reason, and these are the items that I've made out of brass. Hopefully you can see that okay. Pretty much the same, with a couple of minor adjustments that I found. I made 2 or 3 different versions, and these were the best ones. And there you go, 27 grams. So they weigh between 25 and 27 grams. So with a whole set of those on, you've got yourself a 100 gram advantage. Now a lot of people might want to run a pair in the front and none in the back. Some people would like to run them on the back, not the front, and then some people want to run them all round. I'm going to do a few tests in a minute using this lovely bit of wood that I've got here. It's going to take me a little bit of time to take the ones out that I made last night, so I'm going to do a test with some inclines with no weights at all, weights in the front, and then all 4 weights, and I'll show you the difference between them. Hopefully as you add the weight it should be better, because effectively what that should do is it should lower your centre of gravity, but also it should give you a bit of squish on your tyres, which increases the overall footprint of your tyre. So give me a few minutes and I will set it up how I want it, and I'll come back. Okay, so just a quick weigh in now. I've got all of the weights that I've made out of the wheels, got all the wheels and tyres back to standard. It's got the small lipo that it comes with in there, and we're hitting up at 254 grams at the moment. So I'll install two of the weights in a minute. I'm just going to do a couple of incline tests and see how we go, and hopefully we'll get a better incline with the weight in there. Okay, so I'm not going to win any awards for scientific research, but if you keep it simple, it's usually the best way. So what I've done, I've set up the ramp, which is made of a bit of plywood, on an incline, and I've measured it at, it's approximately 40 centimetres. And obviously the higher I move it, the greater the incline. So we'll do a couple of tests and see how it fares up this one. And this is currently with no weights in the tyres at all. And we'll see how it goes on here. So it seems to go up there without too much of a problem, and it's holding as well, which is good. So we'll move it up a little bit and then we'll try it again. So we got up to 43 centimetres there. So there's quite a big increase in the gradient, but we'll give it a go. So there we go. With a bit of wheel spin, it has just managed to get up there, and that's 43 centimetres incline. So as you can see, it's working its way back down. The wheels are not spinning, I will say it is sliding down. So I will put a set of front weights in, and then we'll give it another go, and we'll see if we can do the 43, maybe even more, and then we'll try it with weights in the front and the back. Okay, so we've made the next improvement, which is to add the weights to the front. So we're now running, it's 300 grams, if you remember it was 250. We've added 25 grams to each of the front wheels, so we're now running 300 grams. I'm going to give it a run up at, we're still on 43, which is where the last one pretty much failed to go up, and we'll see how it goes on here. Hopefully it'll go up, and then we can increase it. Oh, look at that. So it's definitely an improvement there. If you remember, I was using pretty much the full throttle and we were dancing all over the place. So there we go. So that's 43, and although it jutted back down, you have to remember that the plywood is actually quite slippery. So we're going to go up to just to about 44. So we'll see how it goes up there. Hopefully this is better. It goes up again. So I think even just a centimetre is quite a bit on the angle. I'm sure a mathematician will be able to work it out, but I'm just using the power of non-science. And there we go, it's made it to the top. And yeah, okay, it was spinning, but it's made it, which it didn't make it before. And actually now it's got a bit of grip on the wood, you can see that it's holding much better. So we've made it up another couple of centimetres. So what I'll do, I will stop the video there, I'll install the rears and see if the rears make an advantage as well. Here we go. So we've now got 4 weights installed, one in each corner. It weighs around 350 grams now. So if you remember, we were originally 250, we're now 25 grams on each corner, so we're 350 grams. Let's see how we go. We're still on 44 centimetres, which was with the last one, with just the front, it really struggled to get up there, and then it didn't hold. And this is the same piece of wood, and let's see how we go. Oh, look at that. I'm using barely any power to climb up to the top now, and I'll let go, and if you can remember just a minute ago, it wasn't holding anywhere near as well as that. Bearing in mind this is still the slippery piece of plywood. So let's go down, we'll give it another go. And I will say, these are the standard tyres that came with it. I know you can get some sort of swamper type tyres, I don't know if they'd be any better. But obviously it depends on what sort of terrain that you're running on anyway. Here we go again. Let's try it a bit slower this time. So there we go, I'm hardly using any power there, and we're still climbing. And remember, this is with weights on all four corners. So let's come down, and I'll move it up, and we'll try it again. Let's keep going until we can't do it any further. So we'll go up to 40, there we go, 45 centimetres. You can see that, don't know if you can make that out on the my very scientific tape measure that I've got up here. Let's see how we go on here. Nice approach. And with a little bit of wheel spin, we're going up. Actually, the offside front wheel is off the deck a little bit, I think. So we've got a little bit of axle twist. Can we make it up to the top? Ah, oh, look at that. Fantastic. And does it hold? Pretty much, I would say that's holding. It's moving just a very small fraction. And we do have one of the wheels off the deck, but there's a nice bit of squash on these rear wheels. So the weight is obviously digging in, the unsprung weight as I mentioned earlier. So let's come down, so we still managed to climb that. And let's go up to 46 centimetres. Wow, that really is quite a gradient now. I'd say that's probably at least 45 degrees. I haven't got an inclinometer with me, but it doesn't take a genius to work out that that's a bit more of an incline now. So here we go. Come on. Look at that. Oh, nice and steady. This would not do this before. So with the front weights, it wouldn't do it. Come on, we've got to get up to the top. So I'm barely even using the throttle really. Oh, look at that, it's made it. That is fantastic. This is not science, it really isn't science, but I'm so pleased because you always do these little mods to your car and you never really know until you try it whether it's going to be better or not. This is 100% better. How awesome is that? Right, shall we do 47 and see if we can do that? So there we go, 47. If you remember, I think we started on, was it 42 or 43? 42 I think. So I'll move the camera around in a minute and you can get a better idea of the sort of angle that we're dealing with here. Is it going to do it? It's trying so hard. It's going. Oh, this is so close, honestly. I feel like I'm going to sit here all night and I'm going to keep trying this until it goes up there. Let's just go for power, shall we? See how that goes. No, and there you go. I'm not even sure that's going to do it, but let's see if it were to hold on there, if we get up there. You can see it's trying to hold. You can't knock it for that. You know, to be honest, these tyres, they're still a bit dirty from me being out on the trails at the weekend, so I can't complain too much, but honestly I'm so pleased it's done as well as it has. Just try and adjust the trim a bit. I want to do it, I really want to do it. It's so close. It is so close to getting up there, it really is. And it's lifting one wheel and it's still trying. It is so close, honestly, but I think we'll call it a day there. So 46, it went up with no problem at all. 47, I think if I persevered and I cleaned the tyres, I think we would do that. But just to show you the sort of incline that's, look at that. That is quite an incline. I would say that's at least 45 degrees, maybe even more. So you can't knock that. I'm so pleased with that. And this is a mod that I have made myself. I machined them up last night. If I've got enough interest, I'm going to be making them and selling a few. So if you want to get hold of some, comment below and I'll get in touch with you. It's going to be around £20 for a set of 4, which I think is quite reasonable. There's quite a lot of work goes into it and material as well. And as you can see, it works. It makes the drivability better. So hit the comments below. Please subscribe. Any more mods that I do on the vehicle, I will be putting on a video and I'll put up for everybody to see. So thanks a lot.